Hey, I'm Laura from Palestine. I'm in my mid-30s. I live with my husband Jeff and my two kids, Terry and Jean, who are both studying at university. Then, Jeff came up with the idea of going to my dad's house. Since the kids are on break, what do you think about going to my dad's house? He left the key with me and asked me to check on the place between visits. Your dad won't be happy about that. Let's just drop the idea. If you told him we're going, he'll be happy for sure. In fact, it was his idea for us to stay there, and I told him you might not agree. I hate that house since I got married to Jeff. As long as it's like this, let's ask the kids. I thought they would say no, but they were excited and agreed, so I couldn't find a way to refuse going without making Jeff upset. We went to my husband's parents' house in the countryside. It had a big yard, and I felt a tightness in my chest even though I had visited before, but never stayed overnight because of work, studying with the kids, and some family problems. We entered the house and picked our rooms. The ground floor had the kitchen and another room with a TV, while the rest of the rooms were upstairs. So we had dinner. Me and Jean cleaned up the kitchen, then we went to the living room and watched a scary movie that held us breathless. After it was over, everyone went to bed. While I was straightening up the living room, I went to the kitchen for some water. On my way back, I suddenly heard some kids laughing. And I stopped for a second to figure out where it was coming from, but it stopped. Maybe it was just a residual effect from the scary movie we just watched. But then the laughing started again. I followed the sound and quickly ran up the stairs. But I didn't see anything. I decided to check the rooms, but then I heard a scream from the downstairs, and I ran down the stairs quickly. The sound was coming from the kitchen. When I got there, I turned on the lights. The sound stopped, and I couldn't find anything. My heart started racing, and I could hear my blood rushing in my veins. Fear took over, and I quickly ran up the stairs and into my room. I found Jeff sleeping. I couldn't leave to check on the kids, and I didn't want to wake Jeff up. I knew he'd think I was making it up, and I didn't want to be alone in the house. So I laid on my bed and trying to ignore the sound until I fell asleep. I don't know how much time passed until I felt a cold hand on my leg. I opened my eyes and wished I hadn't. There was a tall, black shadow with no features. Its eyes were fiery red, and it seemed like they were on fire. He was looking at me, and I froze. Couldn't even scream. I struggled to move my hands and felt dizzy. I panicked, and then the shadow disappeared. What's wrong? I think I just saw a ghost. Maybe it was from the horror movie we watched. You're afraid at this age? Come on, let's sleep and don't think about it. It's just a movie. 4 days passed and I kept hearing laughter, but I tried to ignore it. On the 5th day, Jeff was with his friends and Terry went out with Jean to the park. While I was praying in my room, I finished. A ball came from the opposite room. It's strange. Jean and Terry aren't here. Who threw the ball? I went out of my room and found all the rooms closed. Suddenly, I saw a small child's shadow running towards my room. I chased after it and entered the room, but no one was there and the window was closed. Then I saw the long black shadow coming from under the bed with its red glowing eyes. It was getting closer to me and I froze. My husband woke me up and I realized it was a nightmare. I wanted to tell Jeff, but I hesitated. Jeff, please stay with me tonight. Don't leave me alone. I'm not feeling well. Do you want to go to the doctor? No need. Just stay by my side. I stayed with Jeff until night fell. Terry and Jean prepared dinner, probably thinking I was tired. And at night, they went to sleep. Meanwhile, Jeff and I stayed together watching TV. Can you hear what I'm hearing? There's a laughter sound coming from the kitchen. Of course! I've been hearing it since we got here. That's why I asked you to stay with me. I was afraid to tell you, and you wouldn't believe me. He went to the kitchen, then came back running and with a worried face. Get yourself and the kids ready. We're leaving here now. Let's wait until morning. The city is far away, and it's late. I won't stay here for one more moment. We're not alone. Terry and Jean didn't understand what was happening, and we didn't tell them anything. When I got home, I asked Jeff, why did we come back so late and so fast? What did you find in the kitchen? I saw a black man's shadow and a little girl's shadow, and their eyes were red as if they were blazing fires. Years passed since that story, and we didn't tell anyone about it. Yesterday, my niece came and said, Grandma, I won't sleep alone anymore. I'm scared. What are you scared of, my dear? A black man with red eyes appeared in my room last night. I shuddered at what I heard, and I remember what happened to me before. I told my husband, and he decided to sell the house and buy a new one.